report your emergency.
We need an ambulance.
I was out all night partying. I didn't want to stop.
Imagine risking everything to save someone you love, only to walk in and realize they never stopped destroying themselves. That's the moment Khloé Kardashian says changed everything between her and Lamar Odom. Addiction doesn't just affect the person struggling, it impacts everyone around them. Millions of families worldwide face the emotional weight of loving someone battling substance abuse. And one of the hardest truths? Recovery isn't always linear. Relapse is common, and trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to rebuild. Now, imagine dealing with all of that in the public eye. Their relationship once looked like a whirlwind fairy tale. A reality star and an NBA champion. Two worlds colliding in what seemed like love at first sight. But behind the headlines, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom were married in 2009. By 2013, cracks had already begun to show. And then came 2015, a year that would change everything. After Odom suffered a near-fatal overdose, Khloé made a decision many wouldn't have the strength to make. She put her life on hold to take care of him. In the upcoming Netflix documentary Untold, The Death and Life of Lamar Odom, Khloé opens up about a moment that feels almost surreal. At the time, Lamar was still recovering. Physically weak, struggling to speak, needing constant care. Khloé had created a controlled environment for him, renting a home, providing a caretaker, even hiring a chef. She believed she was helping him rebuild his life. But then something felt off. She noticed a smell, and not just any smell. A smell, she says, is unmistakable once you recognize it. That moment triggered suspicion. So she did something simple but powerful. She went to check. She moved quietly, step by step, up the stairs, not knowing exactly what she would find, but already fearing the worst. And then she saw him, sitting on the edge of the bed, using again. After everything, after the overdose, after the recovery efforts, after she had put her entire life on pause. Her reaction, immediate, emotional, human. She admitted that in that moment, she punched him. Not out of control, but out of overwhelming frustration, betrayal, and pain. Because in her mind, this wasn't just relapse. It felt like deception. She believed he had no access to a phone, no way to reconnect with that world. But she later discovered he had been hiding one. And that realization hit even harder. In her words, it felt like he had been playing her, allowing her to continue supporting him, while secretly continuing the behavior she was trying to help him escape. That's when something shifted inside her. A line was crossed, and she made a decision. She told him to leave. She was done supporting the lifestyle, done financing it, done carrying the weight alone. Now, from Lamar Odom's perspective, the story carries a different kind of weight. While he didn't go into detail about that specific moment, he did express something telling: disappointment. Not just in himself, but in the people who enabled his addiction, especially knowing he had already nearly lost his life once. And that's what makes this story so complex. Because addiction isn't simple. It's not just about willpower, it's not just about choices. It's a cycle, one that affects judgment, relationships, and identity. Their marriage, which had already been under strain, couldn't survive it. Although Khloé initially filed for divorce in 2013, it wasn't finalized until 2016. That gap tells its own story. There were attempts to fix things, moments of hope, possibilities of change. But ultimately, some damage runs too deep. And yet, out of that pain came transformation. Khloé later revealed that her divorce became a turning point, a catalyst. She turned to fitness, not as an escape, but as a form of control and healing. She described becoming obsessed in a healthy way, channeling her emotions into something constructive, something that rebuilt her instead of breaking her down. She also reflected on her relationship with food during that time, how she used it to cope, how emotional eating became a pattern, and how, after the divorce, she became more aware of those habits, more intentional, more in control. Her journey didn't end there. She later entered an on-and-off relationship with Tristan Thompson, which lasted until 2021. But since then, she's chosen to remain private about her romantic life. And perhaps it says something too. Sometimes, after going through enough, you stop looking for validation outside and start focusing on stability within. This isn't just a story about a celebrity marriage. It's about love at its most complicated, about trying to save someone who isn't ready to save themselves, about the moment when care turns into exhaustion and hope turns into acceptance. Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom shared a story filled with highs and devastating lows. But in the end, it leaves us with a powerful truth. You can support someone, you can fight for them, you can stand by them. But you can't change them unless they choose it themselves.